I'm sorry that I'm filming headboard content, but it is Christmas Day and I have slaved over a hot stove. I have made a seafood feast for my family, wrapped presents, decorated the house all day. I've been on my feet probably more hours than I have actually rested or have had a chance to lie down. So you're getting headboard content. But it's a nice headboard. It's not bad. So welcome to my boudoir. So this video is the first installment of the 12 days of Christmas. If you didn't know, when we do the 12 days of Christmas, we always think it's the days leading up to Christmas. It actually happens to be the days after Christmas, from Christmas and then the first 12 days leading into the new year. That's actually the 12 days of Christmas. I tried to do Bookmas this year. I started off doing it and I burnt out really fast, partially because I traveled a couple of times. Once I traveled, that upended everything and I did not prepare. I did not pre-prepare. So that's on me. And please forgive me for that, but I am only human and I'm just a girl. You have to be chronically on social media to get that last one. But it is now Christmas evening, and I wanted to just bring you a bit of a mini vlog or a video. I guess in this case, I did want to include a little bit of footage from yesterday and today, me preparing for Christmas and then our Christmas day. So I will include that in this video. But also I did want to talk to you about my 12, I won't say favorite books, but the 12 books that stood out the most to me. I mean, I guess in a way they will end up being my favorites from this year. Out of the 27 books that I read this year, possibly 28 if we can get through this last one that I'm reading right now by Deborah Levy. These will be the 12 that like stand out the most, the ones that I think I like the best, or the ones that I just think are the most notable. But first, I'm going to show you my prep for the holiday. But first, I'm going to show you my prep for Christmas just to make this vlog style. I'll show you the prep and then get into the book. And then the outro will be a few clips from my Christmas day. Nothing major. So check this out and I'll be right back. Right now, I am in the process of making the house look very festive. I'll show you. I personally always thought that Christmas Eve was just a better day to decorate. Literally, everybody's off from work. It's usually the coldest, not always. Here lately it hasn't been, but usually it's around the coldest time of December. It's after winter solstice. It's after my son's birthday, whose birthday is also in December. And when he was younger, I didn't like to celebrate Christmas or start celebrating Christmas before we celebrated his birthday. That was just something I didn't like to do because I felt like he was being cheated out of his birth. I felt like he was being cheated out of his birthday. But this is where we are right now. The Christmas decorations, they've all been pulled out. Now, of course, people start decorating their house for Christmas in November. And I have done that in the past. And it's just a long time for me to live with the Christmas decorations. So I personally prefer to do the majority of the decorating inside, like the week of Christmas. And part of that is just because we're semi-empty nesters. The grandchild is not here. We don't have little kids on Christmas, and we typically don't do anything big. It's just usually us. But yeah, so I'm doing a minimal Christmas this year. We do have the 2 Christmas trees. I have a wreath on my front door. Mainly, it's just this year gonna be just like cleaning things up and pulling out just essential Christmas things. Also, we do a New Year's Eve party, so I want it to look very festive for that. We'll get the presents under the tree. Here's some presents that have been wrapped already. All of this stuff will go away, and it'll be, Christmas in here. That's what it'll be. So, and then of course I just need to straighten up the kitchen and organize some things too. We're gonna do a seafood feast, and you will see that tomorrow. I probably will film a little bit of footage tomorrow so that we are like spot on with the day, and then we can do our 12 days in somewhat real time. Okay, let me get my house together. Also, this is my favorite Christmas movie ever. I like both of them, but this is the favorite. So that was the time leading up to Christmas Day, we'll just say. I was so exhausted when I went to bed last night. I really wanted to film this last night, but I didn't get a chance. And what I'll probably do is film a couple of these. So for the next 12 days, if some of the videos of me talking about the books that I'm reading are right here with this headboard, then you know that I filmed those today. In fact, right now. So the first book, these are in no particular order. I think tomorrow I will show you more stats of what I actually read. That way, you know, that video is vlog style as well, but we're going to kind of take it back a little bit. I don't know why I'm telling you this now. You could just tune in tomorrow and watch that video. I do want to talk about my stats on Goodreads and that sort of thing. And other topics as well as we go through the next 12 days. Today, we're going to get into my first 5-star read. And I'm not going to talk too much about all of these books. I'm just giving you an intro into the books. Partially because I only have 17% battery life left on my camera. And I don't think it could support a long video anyway. And I also have to edit this. So this particular book was sent to me. And this was my first 5-star reads. Prior to this book, and when I get into my recap, which will be at the end of the 12 days, I don't want to recap my year yet because I haven't finished reading all of the books that I'm going to read. You know what I mean? But I'm just going to do the 12 that stand out to me from the ones that I did read. You know, trying to make it make sense. My first 5-star read, this one dropped into my lap. I got a DM from a publishing company, the Hatchet Book Group. That's, I do believe, who sent this to me. They just sent it to me. I guess they saw that I was on TikTok, as well as I have a YouTube channel, and they were like, can we send you this book? And it's the first book that anybody's ever just sent to me. And I was like, of course you can send me a book. It's a book. You know, I didn't know what to expect. I just felt special. You know, it doesn't take much. This book is The Disappearance of Astrid Bricard by Natasha Lester. And it was my first 5-star read of the year. I had already read 3 books. I think I read this one though in April of last year because I didn't read very many books at the beginning of last year for some reason. But this book was so good. And as soon as I started reading it, I got sucked in. Now, I like to compare books or review books based on my own life experience or based on things that I have seen or done. And this just reminds me of the movies of the week or those mini series that used to come on back in like the 80s. We would get these cool mini series, and that's what this book reminds me of. And I always think that when I read books like this, like when I read Kristen Hanna's books, when I read this book, even a little bit of Taylor Jenkins Reid, a little bit, I feel like these are people who watched a lot of TV when they were younger and that they're probably my age. On the cover, it says Vogue meets Daisy Jones and the Six. I don't get that from this. This is definitely a book about fashion. It spans 3 generations of women. The Bricards, you have Astrid, you have Mitza, and you have Blythe. The mom, the daughter, and then the granddaughter. It bounces back and forth, it time jumps, but if you did a timeline, it would start from like World War II, like that time frame in France, and work its way back to present day in like New York. And all 3 of these women were fashion designers. They navigated that very, very patriarchal world. Patriarchal, is that a word? They navigated that very misogynistic world in their own way. Mitza was part of the resistance, and then Astrid, she was like, you know, that 1970s woman standout as a fashion designer. But there was this idea that, like, you know, she had to be someone's muse. She just couldn't be a designer on her own. And a lot of her designs, a man took credit for, or tried to give credit to a man for them. And then present day, where you have Blythe, who is trying to make a name for herself in present day, but, you know, got married and had kids. So there's that story. There's that's like the thread that threads everything together. But then you have all of the twists and turns and the extra added storylines that come in and the love interest and all that. And it is just a perfect storm of a book, and it's written very well. It comes full circle. It does all the things you need for it to do. I really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed these characters. I enjoyed the time jumping. You don't get bored with, at least I didn't get bored with this. And it was like reading a movie without, like, you know, reading the actual dialogue and, you know, exit stage left and all that. I'm getting movie of the week, 1980s miniseries like Dynasty, fabulous earrings and makeup and clothing, big hair. I'm getting, you know, how all of that came to be and what it's going to be in the future. And it's all tied up in a nice little bow, but also you're getting the Nightingale, and you are getting a little bit of, I don't know if I would say Daisy Jones and the Six, like I said, but you are getting a little bit of the, like, you know, present day feminism and how feminism has changed. I don't know what just happened, but I just got a message on my camera, so I probably need to wrap it up. But that's what I'm getting from this. 3 very interesting, strong women characters in here who just amazed me. I liked all 3 of them. There wasn't much to not like in this book, except for the fact that I wanted more. I did. I wanted more. Like, if there was another book, I would definitely read it if it were a series. And thank you to Hatchet Book for sending me this. Thank you for thinking of me. And it's been almost a year since I read it, but I read it, and I loved it, and I'm recommending it to the people that follow me. And I think it's one of my favorite books of this year, because it was definitely my first 5-star read. I'll read the blurb, and then I'm going to leave you with a little bit of Christmas cheer. Okay, so New York Times bestselling author Natasha Lester delivers a brilliant blend of feminism, fashion, and history. That perfectly sums it up. I could have just read this. She delivers a brilliant blend of feminism, fashion, and history in this bold novel set against the real-life designer showdown in Versailles in the 1970s. And I do highly recommend this. So I think it's perfectly appropriate to be the first book of the 12 Days of Christmas, because it was my first 5-star read. All right. I'm going to love you and leave you here with a little bit of footage, and then I'll see you tomorrow.